Stand by. That's supposed to come up with our little emojis because I did it.
Oh.
Hello and welcome to Follow Everton. You with me, Robby and Wez. 12 points, my ass. How are you, my friend?
All good, mate. You?
Yeah, great. Apologies for the beard. I'm getting ready for my Father Christmas stuff.
Same here, but not the Father Christmas stuff.
Living on a desert island for 2 weeks, but there you go. Well, it's a fine sunny afternoon. I'm trying to get all the lighting sorted in the back living room. It's not working, so if you see me facing is dark, apologies for that. And if you have any issues with my sound, I've not got my posh mic on today. Just tell me if I need to turn it down or whatever. Lovely to see you all. And Wez, it's been a little bit busy, mate, behind the scenes, hasn't it?
Just a little bit, mate. Obviously, we're still getting the negative press regards 777's takeover. Obviously, the chairman, unfortunately passed away. But yeah, a typical day in the life of an Evertonian. Can I just say before we start off, we don't want no political comments on here. We're not a political show. If you want to do that, go on political streams. This is about football, purely and simply.
Yeah, totally agree. Billy, nothing personal, mate, but not today. When you mentioned 777 then, have you heard anything nice about them?
Well, I think this is the rhetoric that the media want to portray them. Yeah, they've got a checkered history. But the Saudis in Saudi Arabia, in Newcastle, we've got human rights sort of things going against them and what have you. But like I said, I don't want to get into all that political business. But like I say, I think it's just the rhetoric of the media at the minute is that they want to do everything they possibly can to sort of like stop this takeover going ahead. Because I think every man and his dog, the media, the other fans, other clubs, they all want to see us relegated. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know what we've done to piss the whole world off, but we've struggled for a few years, but before that, we haven't struggled for donkey's years. You know what I mean? And yeah, everybody wants us to go down.
Before I come on to comments there, Matthew, my friend, I'll buy you a pint of whatever you want if that happens today. Because, oh boy, do we need 3 points. So isn't that nice that the West Ham fans on there as well?
Yeah, always.
We've started 15 minutes early today just to talk about a few other bits. So if anyone else gets the teams up before we get them, obviously I've got Sean Dyche on the end of the phone. He normally phones me up with the teams. So if he's a bit busy giving his team talk, then put the teams up just so that we're not fiddling about with phones and whatever trying to get the teams. But thank you, Matthew. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, everyone. Becky, hi, boys. Boy,
all right, Becky.
Becky, you have not been called a boy since 1972.
Well.
Love it. Yeah, getting back to what you were saying there, my friend, because we're going to have a little chat about a few things before, obviously, the teams come out and then team selection and whatever. Boy, oh boy. I mean, I put on a little blog the other day and it was on another site somewhere and I put like about this agenda and a few Blues had come back and said, get over it.
Hang on a minute, Rob. We seem to be having an issue with the lag here or something. It's not working very well.
What's the lag?
Just like we might be talking and they might be getting it afterwards. So we just try to restart it.
Well, is that for anyone? Has anyone come through and said that?
Yeah, there's a comment there. Becky mentioned it. Gang One mentioned it.
StreamYard isn't working well. Okay, got that. I wasn't looking at the comments then. Apologies for that. So what do we do? End it and start again? Is that our internet? Is that a StreamYard issue? Or
I'd imagine it's a StreamYard issue because I've got 1 terabyte of internet speed, so it shouldn't. But it shouldn't.
Ooh.
Well, you know,
Ooh.
when you've got like everything's on Wi-Fi here, so
working to resolve immediately. Yeah, just give us an update. Is that any better?
Lila's saying it's an intermittent fault. So I don't know whether you want to end it and set a new one up for 5 minutes before the team news comes out. Oh yeah, Lila's saying it's settled.
Let's just give it a little while and just see how we go. It's probably because on the Whittle and Wes is in Liverpool. Yeah, 777. OMG, boy oh boy, an agenda. I can't believe it. Do you know what I saw yesterday? I saw some fella in the Telegraph going, forget 12 points. It's going to be 21. I thought, I'm not being disrespectful here, mate, but are you dyslexic or what? You put the 2 before the 1 or the 1 before the 2 because you're just taking the piss now. Yeah,
they're desperate to see us go down. They're desperate to, like the Premier League and the PGMOL have tried the hardest for the past 2 seasons to send us down, as in football related wise, and they never managed it. And now it's all this. You know what I mean? And like if you know, if somebody in the Guardian's going, it should be 21 points. If he wants 21 points for us with one case against us, what does he want for Manchester City with 114?
Wes, but they're not even talking about that, Addy. That's like it's taboo. No, we can't mention. We don't want to upset. We don't want to upset certain countries because it's an issue with trade and people at high level. Why don't you just shut the foxtrot up? Because you're seriously pissing us off now. I mean, us Blues, you know, we do take a bit of flack, don't we? And we can take it because, you know, we are.
Yeah, one of them is that at the end of the day, what will be, will be. And like I said to me mate.
Wes, let me stop you there. There's a song coming on there. What will be, will be.
Showing your age now.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, but I said to me mate, he's a copite, right? And he said, if you go down, if you get 12 points, you're going to be on -5 points.
He's good at that, isn't he?
Hang on. I said, yeah, but that's still only 10 points behind 17th. I said, and we are still better than Luton, Bournemouth, Burnley, and whoever else is down there. Do you know what I mean? All we got to do is beat them. They're not going to win many games. Sheffield United, they're not going to win many games this season.
Yeah.
And all we've probably got to do is win 10 games and we'll probably stay up.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to stay away, isn't it? In the 21st century, it's hard to stay away from the internet because it's just, you know what I mean? You've got people talking about it. If you're sending a message to your relatives over in New Zealand, you just happen to say, "Oh, have you seen the latest about Everton?" It's whatever. But you're right. No one's talking about Man City. No one's talking about Chelsea, £1 billion just in a couple of months. Man United, apparently they're up the creek without a paddle. But most of the press, they're over in Manchester, aren't they?
But
Most of
they're
them
a
are Reds
billion
anyway.
pounds. They're a £1 billion in debt. Manchester United.
Yeah. But the
You know,
press aren't
not
talking about them.
no. But what I have heard on the grapevine is I think I sent you the link yesterday, didn't I, Robbie? Is that if this 777 partnership takeover doesn't happen, there's 100% people waiting in the shadows, ready to get it on the cheap. You know
Mate,
what I
I've been
mean?
saving up. Seriously, I've been saving up. I mean, I'm up for it.
Me and you chipped in.
Well, I tell you what,
But
mate, Wes, we wouldn't take any shit, mate, would we?
no. But the thing is like MSP is 100% going to be one of them sitting in the shadows. 100%. And because I think like Mashiri was happy for them to come in and buy a stake and sort of like put the money towards the rest of the building of the stadium. But then obviously this Cheshire Rights and Media have come in and seen their ass because they want the money back and said and kiboshed it. So Mashiri's probably spat a dummy out and go, well, I'm going to sell the club anyway. I'm selling my shares anyway. You know what I mean? And the first person to come in and offer them it was 777.
Yeah.
You know what, Lila? I've got to give Liverpool the due there. They've done a great credit to Bill to Bill Kenwright, and I think they're doing it again today. So yeah, big up to them. When times are hard and situations arise, this city comes together like no other.
Yeah. I know a lot of the fan base behind the scenes where they've been involved in tragedies and whatever, and then obviously the Reece Jones, where the two clubs got together, and it was the '96. It was a 9 on the back of one child, wasn't it, and a 6 on the back of another child walking away on the pitch. So yeah, we've got our rivalry. We've got some plonkers who support the clubs who can't stand one another and whatever. But at the end of the day, most of my red buddies live in Norway, and they don't want us to go down because they still want the derby, because they still want to take 6 points off us.
Pete Sansmith says he's gone funny again. Do a timer again, Rob.
I'm not stopping it now. So if I think they're just taking a piss because they don't like us. They don't want us talking. Like Wes has got 1 terabyte. I've got 10 terabytes. So it's definitely not the internet.
No, they're terrapins.
Yeah. Like I say, if someone gets the team before us, just upload it if you can, because it's literally 1 minute to go and I'm just waiting for Sean.
Let's go. Let's just go for this. See if this sorts anything else here, Robbie. Right, let us know in the comments if it's sorted itself out now. We haven't been on for ages, have we? So I don't know whether Ryan or Mabsy or Jan or anything like that's had any issues with lag. But yeah, on to today's game, mate. Tough game.
Wormy, nice one.
Oh, Wormy, that's where we are then.
Yeah.
Oh, good. John Shaw's. Nice one, mate.
Keep talking, Wes. I'll just have a little look and see if Sean's for me.
Go on, mate. Yeah. Who's that there? Stuart McGonigal. nail on the head, lads, when you stated on the start of the broadcast, the football authorities and opposing fans have got it in for Everton. I will go as far as to state so have certain refs. 100%, Stuart. After that performance last week by that absolute disgrace of a referee, Pawson, it was shocking. You know what I mean? And there's definitely been an agenda with the refs the last 2 seasons, and I think it's carrying on into this season. And like say the FA determined, Premier League determined, the PGMOL determined to get us relegated one way or another. No lag in Niagara Falls.
I tell you what, we're pulling them in today, aren't we? Has anyone? What have we had? We've had Antigua, Niagara Falls.
Going global,
Mate. The Wester and the Robster have cracked it.
We are officially globally recognised.
Yeah, and we're still smiling,
there we go.
even though. Thanks, Mr. Blue Skies. Thanks, Mr. Blue Skies. You've got it before I've got it. Let's have a little peep. Okay, yeah.
Tony P, no lag on Neptune. Thanks for that. So,
what are you thinking? What's your thoughts there, mate?
Obviously, no Garner Gay again on the bench. I'm happy with that. I've always said that James Garner should be playing in the middle of the park, and he's much more effective in that position than playing outright, as everybody knows. Chris from Arizona. Jesus Christ!
Hi, Chris. Hey, this is. I mean, this is. Like,
Chris is a regular viewer.
Yeah, this is exhilarating. Anyone else out there who's further away? Then we've got our Leeds mate on. We've got Arizona, Antigua. Come on.
We won Antarctica. We're on the A's today.
A few people on the bench there who can make a bit of a difference.
Wormy saying that it's such sunny in Antigua. He hasn't seen it here on Breck Road, mate. It's absolutely cracking the flags.
Yeah. Well done, Lila. Lila's from
Walton. Is it right, Lila?
Oh, Austin. Hey, wait, stand by. We've got Austin from Ohio.
Ohio to you as well, Austin.
Love it. Never been, but I believe it's
Thailand. YouTube beats Thailand.
I think they're all. Are they taking the Mickey now?
I don't know. Somebody said he was on Neptune before, so I'm a bit doubtful about that one.
Yeah, but if you are, good for you. Yeah.
Right. So, what do you think the game will be today, mate?
Well, last time we were in London, mate, we thought we were going to get stuffed. And I know Brentford's just outside London, but our record down there is it's pretty poor. But you know what? They've had a week, haven't they, Mr. Chairman's passed. We've had. I know Sean on his, Sean was known personally, we'll say Dice. Sean, me and Sean are mates.
Oh, yeah.
When he, on his press interview, I've got to say, he does say it as it is. Doesn't mess around. And he's saying, my players are professional. They've got to step up. They've got to step away from the negative side of things because all these comments are coming out now. Every time he's going to get a press conference. I mean, to be honest with you, we'll probably find out this week about the point situation. But we'll talk about that again in a minute. And he's saying, the professional, they've got to stay away from stuff like that. So it's the talking on the pitch that does it. Over the years, because I've been around a long time, I'm sure you can tell. I'm in my 84th year. So it's kind of like, I've seen a lot of games with West Ham over the years. And for me, we always smash them.
We've got a brilliant record against West Ham.
Home and away. Played 129 games against West Ham. We've won 65. They've won 29. and they've won 35 and we've drawn 29. So it's kind of like, and the best result, this one was 1928 and 1929. It was a 7-7 game.
Was that just before you started watching?
I mean, it was the first game that I went to see in 1928, 29, 7-7. And then at Goodison it was 4-4. How about that? 11-11. So we've scored 219 goals against them. They've scored 146 against us. So for me, it's kind of like West Ham were like whooping boys, kind of like what we've been recently. We've been whooping boys. I mean, people have turned up and just gone, oh, these are easy, and just smashed us. Do you need to sort your dog out, mate?
No, there's kids running past. Go on.
So, and then, but Moisey, I've got to say, fair crack to Moisey. Moisey's, for me, in my opinion, he's got them playing like he had us playing. He's got a tight little unit, and they won a trophy, didn't he? So, and I made up for him, absolutely made up for him. I'm not bitter and twisted that he left for Man United. He went because people go. He was destined to take over from Ferguson, and he went. And you know what? It didn't work out. In life, some things don't work out.
Yeah, the thing is like there's been a lot of managers since him, and it hasn't worked out. It still isn't working out since him. And I think personally myself, if they'd have stuck with Moyes, they'd have got a better, more stable team now, and they would have been in the Champions League every season, because he is a really good manager. He's proven it at West Ham. Do you know what I mean? There's no superstars at West Ham apart from Bowen. Probably that's it. There's no superstars.
Awesome. He is awesome, isn't he? I've got to say.
Yeah.
He's just. I mean, who Jared Bowen? Jared, isn't he? Jared, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, where did he come from? It's just like he's just appeared.
Wasn't it to get him from Hull or somewhere?
He was one of them players, isn't he? Where you take a bit of a Tim Cahill, take a little punch on him, go, do you know what? There's something about him, and oh my God, he would have just been a revelation for the Blues if we'd have got hold of him. Just for Mr. Blues, guys. Let's have a little look at what is.
To me, there's that middle of the park is strong. Paquetá, Bowen, Alvarez, Ward, Prowse, and Kudos, whatever his name is. That is a strong midfield. That
Kudos is the one we wanted, isn't he? Who was supposedly coming, and then Ajax wouldn't let him go, unfortunately, at that particular time.
Yeah, because they'd let too many players go.
What a shame.
Yeah, but he's not getting a start at West Ham. The only reason he's getting a start today is because they played midweek.
Yeah, true, yeah. And Antonio, we've been linked with him, haven't we? He's kind of, decent. He'll score on his day, won't he?
You know what? I don't fancy him, me. Don't fancy him, me, Robbie. Yeah. I think he's one of them players where you'll probably get maybe 8, 9, 10 goals out of him a season, but they all seem to come at the beginning of the season, and he just dies a death. You know what I mean? He'll score like 10 goals in about 15 games and then won't score for the rest of the season. Yeah. You want somebody who's consistently scoring throughout the season. Yeah, you might go like 2 or 3 games without scoring, but then you might go on a run of 2 or 3 games. You know what I mean? Whereas that Antonio always seemed to me like gets all his goals at the start of the season, then he sort of dies.
Then we've got the set ball expert who's, I won't say he's as good as Beckham. I won't say he's as good as Beckham, but
he's brilliant.
He finished us off last season, didn't he? With
Southampton. Yeah.
So
he's very good at set pieces.
Anything within, what's his range? About 30 yards, would you say?
I'd say, 25 yards. And then obviously you've got like corners as well, haven't you? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Well, I think you know what? I think walking out of there with the points wouldn't be disastrous. Getting something, we've got to get something.
Each game now, we've got to get something, haven't we? We've just got to avoid. We've got to avoid not getting 3 points.
Yeah.
3 points today would just be amazing. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Like Moyes said it in his press conference, didn't he, that we've been playing better away from home than that we have at home, which is a bit strange considering the last 2 seasons where we couldn't really buy a win away from home. Just seems like the pressure's off when we go away now. John Shaw's just asking the question there. I think Rooney's a worse manager than Lampard. I think they're probably just as bad as each other, although Lampard, when he was at Derby, bought in a load of players, and that's why they ended up in the brown and smelly. Rooney, he bought a load of players in on loan, didn't he, Lampard? And Rooney basically got left with what he did and almost kept them up. So on that score, they're probably just as bad as each other, aren't they? But
yeah,
Prescott Cable's hitting top spot midweek. Well done.
Nice one. The Rooney and Lampard, I would agree with you there. I'd put them on a par. But that's just a brief. We're just we're talking about us today, aren't we? We're not talking about our past manager and player that was a star and went on to make his name elsewhere. Really, are you fancying score-wise today? Are you fancying us for 3 points?
You know what?
Honestly.
You know what, Rob? I do fancy us, to be fair. I watched the Wolves and Newcastle game last night, and they died second half, Newcastle, because of the game midweek. They ran out of gas, and Wolves was all over them second half. Absolutely battered them second half. They couldn't even hardly get into Wolves' half, Newcastle. So that's going to be a big factor. And obviously we've just had a week off, so yeah, I honestly do fancy us. We've got to, like Mr. Blue Sky said then, I think we've got to stop making stupid fouls, giving stupid fouls away on the edge of our box or in the vicinity, and just like keep it tight for 45 minutes. If we go in at 0-0 at half time, great, and then have a little go second half. See how much stamina they've got.
Yeah, I'll have that. The fact that I remember when we were obviously we were in Europe and you play on a Thursday and then you play on a Sunday. Sometimes, I know they're professional athletes, but some of them would be like quite lethargic, as though they did have a little bit of jet lag in the legs. So
yeah,
I'm hoping today that that's going to be to our advantage and that we do get off the bus, as I like to say, and go and smash them, because we can. No ifs, buts about it. We can turn up today and go have a bit of that, like we did at Brentford and like we did at Brighton, and just go, oh, the hell, what happened there? Didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Say, I didn't know what team he put out against Olympiacos the other day, Moyes, but they lost their unbeaten record in Europe, didn't he? So that might have an effect on them. But he's only got a small squad anyway. So I'd imagine the team he's putting out today was probably maybe one or two different from what he put out on Thursday. So it's not like he can make wholesale changes in Europe and then for the Premier League.
Yeah, fair point, Matthew. What we're saying is we're hoping that you're going to have a bit of jet lag, because at some point you can't play midweek at the weekend. We're just saying we don't know how big your squad is, but we're hoping our little week off, because I say we're on a reasonable run, 3 wins out of 4. And today we are like so off for that 4 wins out of 5. For me, I want 3 points. Would I settle for a point? Of course I would. But
yeah,
the fact that we can't keep a clean sheet, can we, Wes? We don't appear to be able to keep a consistent clean sheet. So we've got that weakness at the back. West Ham they played 9, same as us. They've scored 16 goals. We've only scored 9, and they've let in 16 as well. So that's kind of like they can go up and score, but at the other end, they're vulnerable as well at the back.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, to sort of succeed in a game of football, you've got to keep a clean sheet, and then score a goal, without stating the obvious. But the first intrinsic sort of step on that road is keeping a clean sheet. Keep a clean sheet, you've always got a chance of getting a win. And it's been a bit of a conundrum for the past three seasons. 35-1 for the first goal. I think he's only ever scored one goal, hasn't he, since he's been here?
That was against Leicester, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was a cracking goal as well.
Yeah, it was a cracker, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, wouldn't you just love it? We don't particularly, Wes and I, we don't particularly care who puts his left foot or his right foot or his head on it, so long as it ends up in the back of that net. I would like to see Calvert-Lewin on the score sheet again, I've got to say.
Yeah. We just want him back to where the player that we know he can be, innit?
Yeah.
Until he got his injuries, he had like, was it like 5-5 or something the season before last? The first 5 games he scored 5 goals. Was it under Ancelotti?
Yeah.
He scored 5 goals in 5 games and then got injured.
And then since then, it's kind of like been a little bit downhill. But you know what? We want to see our boy back, don't we?
100%, yeah. We want. Yeah. I want also for Beto to get off the mark, because I think once he gets that monkey off his back, it's going to make a hell of a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Just look. Thanks for everyone for putting your comments on. Currently, just had 53 people eyeballing us and whatever. So I know some people see us after, later on or whatever, when you're a little bit bored, or on a Monday or a Tuesday when you're in the office chilling out and you want to have a little look at the two baldy amigos.
So we've got Pete here giving us pointers of what to talk about. So the Dice press conference. Pretty much he got asked about all the negative stuff, didn't he? Still went on about the derby, which it's obviously wrangled him, which you can understand. You know what I mean? But he got asked about the 777 and the points deduction and this, that, and the other, and you're like, what do you want him to say? He can't influence. Nobody can influence what's going to happen in that tribunal, so he can, like you said, all he can do is tell the players to keep being professional. You know what I mean, Rob?
Yeah. What I find amusing and interesting and all those conundrums in the press conferences, whoever goes on first asks the questions. What did you think about the derby? And whatever, and then you have the next journalist that asks maybe not the same question, but it's still about the derby, and it's still about 777, and like, what do you do? Like, crack on and move on. Let's talk about something else, because your mate on the left or the right has already asked them questions. So let's not start going round and round and round about it. It's just pathetic. But that's the thing. That's what you got to expect from them, I guess. And he knows.
Yeah. But this is the sort of thing that they've all sort of tied into, isn't it? Is just speaking negatively, like nobody, like it's speculation from the media, whether there's been a leak or what, that the Premier League have asked for a 12-point deduction. Right now, it's not up to them. They can ask for it, but the independent panel are the ones that ultimately, if found guilty, dish out any punishment. Now, they could give us a 12-point deduction suspended, you know what I mean, which means absolutely nothing. Or we could get a 12-point deduction which comes into effect straight away. But then we've got the right to appeal. So that could last another two or 3 years. So it's kind of like smoke and mirrors, all that business, and you can't really get involved in too much of it.
Yeah. Just before I put my comments on there, Pete, that's just what we're saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nothing to do with football. Sean Dyche saw his ass because he got a yellow card, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because he dared to challenge. When you see some of the stuff that's going on the touchline with certain individuals, if we say the top 6, top 7
Arteta
clubs,
is the worst for it.
get away with murder. The minute
Arteta is the worst for it.
Yeah, protested against an incident across the park.
Yeah,
he gets a yellow card, and he's saying, "So what did I get that for?" So we kind of take it on the chin, don't we, as Blues? I'm saying, who have we got to fight our corner at the moment? Because at board level, it's kind of a little bit possibly wishy-washy, particularly now that, or in recent times, because Bill Kenwright's been ill, and obviously now he's passed. So the 12 points for me, this is my personal opinion, is that the Premier League, have instructed an independent body to look at Everton's financial situation. So the mere fact that they ask an independent body is like, take it as a positive, because they're not looking at it themselves. The minute they start looking at us, it gets leaked into the papers then that the Premier League are wanting 12 points. So why would you want to get an independent body to look at our misdemeanors that we are vehemently denying, to then go, well, and I want 12 points as well. It's kind of like, because I'm not happy, so I want 12 points. Because straight away, it's kind of like a Crown Court trial, isn't it? Where the jury are listening to the case, and then the jury come home and go in the press or social media saying, have you seen what's happening to such and such at Liverpool Crown Court? What do you think? I'm not quite sure which way to go with it. So what's your thoughts? Because, that might infer on how I'm going to sort of say guilty or not guilty. Absolute shite. Utter crap. But you know what I think, Wes? You know what I think? This is the way I think. I think they're going out with 12. I want 12 points. I'm going to smash them with 12 points. When really they want less than 12 points. But it's like they'll do us a favour if we only get 3 or 6.
Here's a question for you, right? Say, and for everybody who's on the stream, by the way, say for instance, say we get 3 points today, right? Put us on 10 points, right? Would you take the 12 points now? And be on -2.
Do you know, Wes? I'd tell them to shove it up their ass and deal with Man City and the others first. And then I'll go, let's see what they get. And then we'll take ours retrospectively. Because if we're getting 12, do you remember when they brought out the diving rule? Like feigning injury? Nias got smashed on it, didn't he? Because Nias went down in the box.
Yeah. The first person to be banned.
Yeah. And who else? What? The week after and the week after that, it was like forgotten about. Never happened.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, you can piss off, and I'm so wound up over this. You're not having us as the sacrificial lamb when you've got some of the big boys and the little wannabe. But what did you do with the little Super Six, the little wannabe brigade that want to go off and make even more money? No, we didn't do nothing with them because we can't make the fans. We can't affect the fans on this, can we? You're not asked about us, but you're leaving a certain other team. And I like Man City, by the way. So I'm not just having a go at Man City, but I'm going, why are you taking 15 years to sort that out? But like you're taking a couple of months to box ours off and then you want to do us big time. All I'm saying is...
Yeah, I mean, you can't compare the two really, because you've got one who's got one case against them and one who's got 114. And obviously that takes time to sort of sift through. But what like I asked that question about taking the 12 points now, right? Because if we took it now, we'd have the best chance this season of staying up. Because if Leicester and Leeds and all that come back up, it's going to be a harder league next year.
Yeah. So should we
Do you
leave
understand
it there?
what I mean?
Should we leave it there for now? Because when we're probably going to be talking about it midweek when we get a sanction or it comes out in the press, and we'll probably do a live blog on it, won't we?
Yeah, definitely. But they reckon that we're not what's naming. I don't, unless you've heard different to me. The decision's going to come in November or by the end of the year.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to be this week?
Not that I've heard, no. I've heard it's going to be maybe sometime in November or latest by the end of the year.
Okay.
So, like I say, we can't really worry too much about it at the minute because nothing's happened yet. But what's that? What sort of, like, I'm the same as every other Everton fan, is we're all baffled as to why we were getting monitored 1 minute by the Premier League and they were writing to the likes of Burnley and all these other teams that had been relegated to say we hadn't broke any, profit and sustainability rules. And then all of a sudden, we were still getting monitored. All our.
Tony, I love the humour, mate. Love it.
But all our business was being monitored. You know what I mean? All our players that we were buying were being monitored and sanctioned by the Premier League. And then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh, hang on!" And I know this is down to them not declaring the tax on the stadium and all this, that, and the other. But surely that had been looked into when they declared the books for the year.
Yeah,
I'm baffled by it, Robbie, to be honest.
So we touched on it, blue boys and blue girls, and no doubt we'll come back to it when we see what our supposed punishment is, because it's kind of just there in my mind, and like everyone else, it's kind of like rather frustrating. So we'll get back to today's game. I'm going to go for, we can't keep a clean sheet, but I hope we do. So I can see West Ham scoring, and I'd say Ward Prowse will be on the score sheet. But I'm going to go for a DCL and a Decore 1-2 for us. So I'm going for a 2-1 away win, which would give us 2 points. I'll be able to watch Match of the Day tonight, and I'll be able to look at the internet this week and take a bit of flack, negative-wise, because that's the way it is in the press, isn't it? So that would set me up for the week.
I think I think we'll play a lot of a counter-attacking football today. I think they'll push up the pitch quite high, and we can catch them on the counter. But it's not easy to counter-attack a David Moyes team. You know what I mean? So we need to be good at it, like we showed against Brighton.
Yeah, but what's interesting, Wes, is they have leaked 16 goals.
Yeah.
So that gives me a little, that gives
me. They got hammered last week against Villa, didn't they? They got battered 4-1 against Villa last week. Villa took them apart.
Our defence, you think our defence has been shite this season? We've only let in 14. So they're actually worse than us. They've let in 16. They've scored more goals, but with a little bit of luck, we should have scored more goals. It's just we've missed them. And we all know the game of football is to score them.
Roberto seems to think that the Premier League was not monitoring us at all. Well, that's not what everybody's being told by the club and by the Premier League. So,
Roberto, that's... are you from the UK or are you from somewhere else? I like the name, mate. Roberto, it's nice that. I like that.
You'll be Roberto next week.
Very cosmopolitan.
Hey, Roberto.
I'll be Father Christmas in December, mate. Oh, Wesley.
You need to get a belly on you.
And what would you like for Christmas, Wesley? Apart from 3 points.
But just going back to that, Roberto, the Premier League wrote to the teams that got relegated, Burnley and whatnot, to tell them that we hadn't broke any rules. If they weren't being monitored, they couldn't say around and write that letter to them, could they?
Yeah, it's. There's a few people on the stream saying just, in fact, there was one person on the stream saying just crack on with today's team and whatever. There's only so much you can talk about, and we have discussed today's team selection. We've discussed the score. what we think it might be, could be, should be. And we've discussed the West Ham team as well. So, because it's the Blues and there's lots of things going on behind the scenes, that's why we came on a little bit early today, because we knew we were going to be talking about stuff that is quite prevalent in the news anyway, and it is quite topical, and it won't go away. It's there. So, make no apologies if we come on the stream and maybe, touch on it, because it is what it is. I think what's going to be nice today, Wes, there's going to be a minute's silence for our chairman, Mr. Bill Kenwright, and Sir Bobby Charlton.
Bobby Charlton,
yeah.
I mean, that's probably that's good. You know what I mean? That's good that they recognise that we've lost somebody close to the club and that.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
Scotty, Roberto's from Scotty, not from my area, the Everton area.
Oh, okay. So you are a Robert then. It's a lovely boy's name. Well done to your mum. So, my friend, I'm not quite sure who's on post-match. I know Ryan said he was hoping to be on, but I'm not quite sure about the rest of the team, so bear with us. You might have Wes and I, you might have Ryan and Wes, you might have three of us. I know Jan's in America, and Stevie's not available today, so Jonathan's at the match, so I'm not quite sure about who's going to be on, so we all like surprises, don't we? Anything else from you, Wes, or are you happy with everything?
No, I'm happy. Somebody mentioned there we were going to say anything about Bill Kenwright passing, but Ryan done a stream and a sort of remembrance stream. The day that he passed on. So there's not really much for us to say on that, is there?
Yeah, endorsed what you just said there. Justin, yeah, we're not feeding the media narrative, my friend. Nothing personal. We're talking from Blues to Blues because we're in our forum. So, the press and the media are not going to be bothered about us. We're just saying we don't like what they do to us and seem to make an example of us.
Yeah.
Daily, weekly, monthly, and on the pitch. Things seem to happen on the pitch that tend not to happen
a bit strange
places.
Yeah,
and that's what we're saying. Okay, so
the thing is,
I'm acknowledging you.
The thing is, though, Robbie, right? Do you think that Dice never made as much of a fuss of that as what Klopp did? And all Evertonians are sort of like thinking the reason that White Canate wasn't sent off last week was because of the decision that they didn't get against Spurs. And, that's widely, because they'd made such a balls up of that Diaz goal that, was ruled out, that they got the favourable decisions in the derby. But do you think because Dice didn't make such a furore about it, that he should have done? He should have made more of it.
Yeah, I mean, they're like chalk and cheese, aren't they? Klopp and Dice.
Nice one, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
He's a good lad, Chris.
Is that our Australian friend?
No, yeah, Australian, and he's in Arizona.
Thank you for that, my friend. Lovely, lovely touch. Yeah, I wouldn't expect Sean Dice to carry it on after it's finished. He does it at the time. He got his yellow card, and then he's come away, and he's just gone. So what? Like, what was all that about? He then doesn't start going into the press and whatever, and going, I'm not happy about this, I'm not happy about that, and it just doesn't go away. But the press.
Maybe he should do. Maybe he should do, though. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. When you got Klopp coming out asking for a replay and all this, that, and the other, he's making a big deal of the fact that they were hard done by. And I don't expect now to see that Craig Pawson refereeing a game for us again this season. Won't happen.
It will,
I don't think it will. Not a Goodison anyway.
We're going to do we're going to do a blog on refs at some, or a stream, sorry, at some point about referees and decision making and whatever. I think Ryan's got something behind the scenes that will be coming up in the next month or two. So, and I'll join in on that one, but I'm sure you will as well, Wes.
Yeah, I just want to comment. I just want to comment on this from Gary Coffee Bum.
Go on.
Bit of a strange surname, but VAR is not a joke, right? Let's get this out in the open. VAR is not a joke. VAR is a very, very good system. It's the people that work at the jokes. It's the system itself is brilliant, right? But if it's run by monkeys, then it's going to be run incorrectly. So that's my take on it, right? It's like goal line technology. Goal line technology is absolutely superb. VAR is superb when the people who are using it get it right. There was a thing last night I think was it the Newcastle game or the Bournemouth? No, I think it was the Bournemouth game, and they had that David Coote was the VAR ref, right? And there was an offside. It was Burnley Bournemouth. It was offside, and it took them 5 minutes, right? And on the first instance, it came up the goal was onside for Burnley, right? Then he looked at a different camera angle, and it came up as he was offside, right? So there's the issue. Like the ref is using different camera angles to sort of get to where he wants, but it should be just one camera angle, surely, Robbie.
Yeah, I've watched most of the Rugby World Cup. Absolutely thrilling and entertaining.
Yeah.
And you see how professional the setup is.
Yeah.
The referee will just go, any chance just going to camera angle straight away. The camera goes into the equivalent of Stockley Park. The guy's there having a communication. Yes, Tony, we're looking at the frame now. Yeah, it's a try. It's a try. They call the players over. It's a try, and the reason being, and they go, thank you very much.
Yeah, everything's transparent. Isn't it? Everything's transparent, Robbie. Isn't it? Everything's transparent.
The referees aren't mic'd up in England, and we all know the reason why. And that's something, again, that we'll talk about in the foreseeable future. It's kind of not just a 2-minute one. So all we're asking for, it's not hard, it's transparency and consistency. It doesn't happen with us, full stop. So that's when we start saying, is there an agenda?
Yeah.
So, but like I say.
Well, like you say, this is why you got the players coming out last week and saying, they just want consistency. And that's what it's all about. Do you know what I mean? Like, you looked at Simicast, 3 fouls on Jack Harrison, not a single yellow card. And then the first foul Ashley Young makes gets a yellow card. And then, he booted the ball away and he should have had another yellow for that. But the first yellow was a bit sort of touch and go anyway, wasn't it, Robbie? The second one you can't argue with. But when you've got the opposition players making foul after foul after foul and there's no yellow, then you're sort of like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Hopefully that won't happen today, Wes?
No.
So
hopefully
listen,
not, mate.
Thanks everyone for watching, and I know people will watch again in at your leisure. It's always a pleasure to have a little chat with you, and thanks for your comments. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done, and send a share to friends and family. And we're trying to get it up to 3,000. I think we're on 2,600.
I think we've had a few new viewers today as well, Robbie.
Yeah.
From all over the world.
Lovely to see. So we're going to go and get set now because Wes and we've got to jump on a plane and go and watch the match in another country. So,
we're all right because it's on Sky.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So listen, We might see you later, or it might be someone else doing the stream. But until then, enjoy the game. Keep safe. We love you all.
Come on, you
See you,
Blues.
everyone. Bye-bye.
See you
Up the
later.
Toffees. Up the Toffees.